Hello and welcome to today's video. Have you ever wished there was like an instruction book to life, or that when you were born, someone gave you a book and kind of told you how to do life, the instruction book for life? Well, I definitely have looked for one, and on my path, I have found some gems that I would like to share with you. So thank you so much for watching. This is Tammy Coyne. I am your holistic alchemist, helping you change pain into possibilities and possibilities into purpose. I upload content on holistic healing and personal development on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and do the holistic pathway podcast on Saturday, where I do unscripted conversations on mind, body, spirit, and entrepreneurship. So let's think a little bit about these gems. So what I didn't know was I had been living by these for a long time before I actually learned them and knew there was this guidance out there. I actually learned this guidance, as far as learned the names of these things and a structure for them as I was completing yoga teacher training. So I'm going to share with you 10 gems of wisdom that I live by, and would invite you to consider if there's something good that you might want to add into your life. So the first five are called yamas. That is a Sanskrit word that actually really means restraints. So the first one is called ahimsa, and ahimsa means nonviolence, which I translate into what I like to call being empowered without disempowering anyone else. So the practice of nonviolence, for me and for my way of being, doesn't mean that you don't ever get angry. It doesn't mean that it's okay for people to abuse you and that kind of thing. What it does mean is that I can continue to grow myself within myself, be empowered without the need to overpower anyone else. The next one is called Satya, and it is truthfulness. And this is learning how to speak your truth without harming someone else. Sometimes people get this idea that using their voice and speaking their truth means no holds barred, and you can just sort of, run over everyone else, because as long as you're speaking your truth, then that's what matters. And I would invite you to consider that there's another way. You can learn to speak your truth without actually being harmful to other people. Asteya is non-stealing. And a lot of times when we think of stealing, we think about stealing like things, in this translation, this is about stealing from the earth. Are you taking from the earth and not giving back to the earth? What about stealing from others? What about stealing from ourselves? So this is that practice of looking to see where you are maybe stealing from the world, from others, and even from yourself. The next one is brahmacharya, which is non-excess. And sometimes this is seen as celibacy or abstinence. I have practiced celibacy since 2017, abstinence since 2017. Now, it depends on how you want to work with this particular yama. It's not necessarily needed for celibacy or abstinence, but rather recognizing the sacredness in our actions, being mindful and recognizing when we have enough. There's a lot of excess in our world, and oftentimes it's people are, it's more, more, more. I don't have enough. I need more. I need more. I need more. Well, when we practice brahmacharya, it is looking to see where we can maybe trim the fat, if you would, the excess in our life. Some people, like for me, I had challenges in relationships, and I knew that in order to heal what I needed to heal from relationships, it was going to be important for me to go into a space of self-healing and stepping away from relationships for a while, romantic relationships for a while, so that I could cleanse what I needed to cleanse within myself. A parigraha, which I probably didn't say that quite right, but it is non-possessiveness, and it is the liberation from greed of people and things. It is the letting go. I see this in another way as non-attachment. So it's learning to love without being attached to an outcome. One example is a great example. Let's say a flower, and let's say you are very taken by the beauty of the flower. But then to practice this, you would just observe the flower and not need to take the flower. Because, of course, when you take the flower, you have changed its trajectory, right? As soon as you take it, then its life force is cut and it begins to die. So when we are thinking about things and people, how can you begin to love and appreciate the things in your life and the people in your life without the need to have them be different, without the need to possess or to change them? Okay, the next 5 are the niyamas, and these are around observances. So saucha, which is purity, is around cleansing the body, cleansing our attitude, cleansing our actions. So that's a great one to consider, and goes really well with some of the other things that we talked about. Santosha is contentment, and it's the acceptance and appreciation of what is in the present moment. You can start to see how these begin to go together, and as you practice one, you hone your skills in the others. We have tapas, which is self-discipline. Think of heat. So how that would work is it's easy to be disciplined when things are going well, right? When you feel like you've got all the money you need, you feel like you've got all the people you need, you feel like you've got all the things that you need, whatever. And let's say something changes. Maybe a storm comes your way, or things start getting hot, like you start your feet to the fire, that kind of thing. So who are you then? It's really easy to be at your best when things are going well. How about when things are not going as well? Who are you then? This is a great opportunity to refine and hone your skills in that way. Sad, sad, let's see if I can say this one. Svadhyaya is self-study, and it is knowing ourselves deeply, releasing the false, the limiting beliefs that have us questioning our divinity. That is one of my favorites, and I've been studying myself and honing and refining for a very long time. Ishvara Pradnahana. So did you like that? I'm originally from Oklahoma, and pronouncing Sanskrit is not always something easy for me. So it means surrender, receiving each moment, each circumstance with an open heart, with devotion, trust, and active engagement. So when we begin to practice the yamas and the niyamas, whether it's practicing the yamas of restraint or the niyamas of observation, our life begins to transform. And when you apply these principles, let's say these gems of wisdom, if you overlaid them over your life and you really didn't focus on anything else other than living these 10 ideas, these 10 principles, imagine how much your life would change. Like I said, I had been living these principles for a long time, and I had no idea that they were connected to yoga. I had no idea there was a structure. These things came to me after my spiritual awakening in 2014. It definitely was not how I lived before that. It's definitely not something I have fully mastered. Um, it is something that I work with within myself. Some days I do a lot better than others. And I give myself grace and I continue to work on these principles. So this was a little bit different topic, but I think it fits perfectly in the holistic healing and personal development. There are things within this that definitely impact mind, body, and spirit. And as you begin to practice these, and it's not something that comes over time or immediately, it comes over time. There's definite practice involved, there's observance involved, there's restraint that's involved, there's looking at these principles in different circumstances when things are going really well for you based on your interpretation of the situation, or what if it about when things aren't going super well. How do you do in those instances? Do you find a place of growth, something that you can grow into? And again, it's coming from a place of non-judgment, um, rather a place of observation. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I would love to have you as one of our people here. And I'd love to hear your comments on this. Is this something you're practicing? Are you aware of the yamas and niyamas? Is this something you'd like to know more about? It's great. It's a great discussion and reflection exercise. So I look forward to seeing you in future videos. And if you would like to dive deeper into how you might grow holistically in your life, I do offer a free consultation. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.